Hi, I'm CQ the Watch Guy, and this is The Check-In, a series where I'm connecting with collectors in their hometowns. Today, I'm with a very good friend, Jabs Satonji. We're here in Northern Virginia. What's up, Jabs? How are you, man? So good to see you.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Man, Jabs has been a good friend for many years now, and I really wanted to talk to him about just the dynamic changing watch collecting community in the DMV area. I'm a co-founder of CP Time, and at the CP Time first anniversary, I saw just an amazing love in the DC area, and through you and seeing what you've been building here, I've just seen such amazing growth, and the community has been so strong. So I just want to talk to you about, as somebody who's lived in the area, almost all your life, how has the watch scene grown, and why has communities been so important?
Yeah, so I appreciate you having me here, first of all. So the DC community has, I think, been underserved. I was born in DC, grew up here my whole life, DMV, Virginia, Maryland, DC. And we have not had any brands, like a presence for brands here. There's presence in boutiques, and but you have the normal culprits, Rolex, Gauthier.
The megas of brand
names. Yeah, exactly. And more recently, we've seen a lot of brands come out. We had Christopher Ward here. We had De Bethune here. We had Romain Gauthier here, Thomas Pressure.
There's a crazy list of people I've seen coming in. And it's so interesting to me. There is such a strong watch collecting community here, but you don't hear about it.
Yeah.
Before, I met you and really following what you're going on and Al and stuff, you really don't hear about the great collectors here.
Yeah, it was very underserved, and I think DC collectors are more private. They're very, very private. A lot of the big collectors would not share their collections before. They wouldn't come to events.
Yeah.
And as we've gotten to know them and
they open up slowly.
And now you come to the events and there's some crazy pieces on the table, right? When I first started collecting about 10 years ago, there was a very small group of collectors, small, Rolexes and Omegas on the table, and now you see Acrivias and Romain Gauthiers and FP Journes. It's funny because we did an FP Journe event here like 6 years ago when I got my first Journe, and there was 6 Journes on the table, and now. Last Journe event, we had
it's a party.
150 Journes on the table, and it's completely shifted. So it's really cool to see that shift and have DC become a really prominent area as part of the collecting community.
What made you open up the group? Because I feel like all groups start like that. It's me, you, it's a few people. We have a little bit of a watch collecting group, a little WhatsApp group. Maybe we have a dinner or whatever, and we show our pieces. What made you say, hey, I want to create a little bit more of a bigger space? Maybe not super public, but I want to create a safe place where other people can just kind of find their way organically into our collecting circle.
So I think it was conversations with a couple friends. That I didn't know were watch collectors.
Yeah.
And they didn't know I was a watch collector.
It's often like that, right? People are like, you don't know until it's like, we start nerding out on a watch in the corner.
I see him wearing a watch. I'm like, are you wearing? And are you wearing? And then we start talking about it. And it was very lonely at first, talking like collecting, right? And you're not able to see some pieces that you're maybe lusting after and trying to get. And you have no idea how to see that piece in person. And so what we did was we had a few collectors that we got to know. I got to know Al. Yeah. And we did the first CP Time event here in this building, actually.
Yeah, it's insane.
And I work in real estate, so we have a space that works really well for events.
Yes, this is beautiful.
And thank you. And it worked out really well. We were like, we can have some brands here. It's a nice space. And it just grew organically, and people started hearing about them, and people were like, can I get added? We started vetting people just to make sure, it wasn't getting out of control. Yeah. And it's a safe space, but what's amazing about the community that we have here and that we built is there's collectors from all realms of collecting, and everyone in that collecting sphere is passionate about watches.
Exactly.
That's the only way to say it, because they don't care about price point, they don't care about the brands, they don't it's really just passionate about watches. And it's funny because Christopher Ward came out here once, and Michael Pearson, shout out.
Shout out to Mike.
He was talking about the club that we have, and he's like, it was crazy. I saw like an Acrivia on the table, but everyone's geeking about this Belcanto.
Exactly.
And I love that. I love that the people are really, really passionate about it at any price point.
Yeah, I think that's a key to collecting is passion. And I think it always starts out, a little bit lonely. You're just buying it for yourself. You're wearing the watch for yourself. But it's something when you start connecting with people, you're able to share watches with each other. And what you said is so important. So many times there's this amazing watch that you see in magazines, you see in Instagrams, that you can't get it for whatever reason. But sometimes you just have a good friend who is lucky enough to have it, or a brand rep or whatever, and you're just able to enjoy the watch through them. And maybe, okay, I want that watch, or maybe I don't want that watch. But it just helps so much in the collecting experience, and also just the overall education, I feel, when you're able to share and feel and touch each other's watches. And somebody like Mike Pearson, just a great shout out, head of Christopher Ward, but has been around the watch industry for a long time. And when you passion in watches, you kind of see Mike Pearson's face. So if somebody like that is giving you the kudos, you know that you're onto something, right?
100%. And what's really, really special is every collector here brings something to the table, right? We have a collector, his name's Ekbar.
Yes.
And Ekbar has his own micro brand called the Sablier.
Which is amazing.
Fortunate enough to have a piece unique from him. We did a Jabs Art Edition, which we've done with Christopher Ward as well. And it's awesome because he's a DC native. You have DC written on his world timer.
Yes,
a little DC
one of the only
instead
ones
of New York.
Yeah.
I think the New York guys are pissed about
Yeah,
that,
right.
but sorry. But it's really cool. We have a micro brand local here in DC. We have a gentleman named Walid.
Yep.
And Walid owns a company called 937 where he does prints. And he's done prints with like IWC.
Yeah, amazing stuff too.
Some really, really cool stuff. We've done some stuff with Journe. He does some really awesome prints, and I mean, a lot of times I'm watching like a Hodinki video and I see his print.
Yeah, exactly. Just there hiding.
It's
hiding in
really
plain
cool to
sight.
see. And those guys are here in DC, and no one ever mentions it or anything. But there's a bunch of really, really connected people in the watch world here locally, which is awesome.
No, I love that. And speaking about Akbar the Sablier, what a story, man. To see him, I think maybe 5 or 6 years of brands has been around. I met him maybe 4 years ago at a CP time party, but to see the progression in his pieces and the type of watches, we have one here, we'll highlight on the screen, but the type of watches that he's making at a really accessible price point, designed in the US, using Swiss parts, and on the progress. We all know how hard it is to try to make a US brand, but doing so much he can to keep a very unique watch, accessible price point, born in DC. And I love it.
His quality has gotten so much better every single time. I mean, it started off from quartz, and now he's doing mechanical movements. He has the best priced world timer on the market.
This is the normal version is like under 1,500, like maybe under 1,200, under 1,000, right? Yeah, under 1,000 for the travel graph, a bunch of different variations, and it's not a world timer that looks at anything else.
Exactly.
And I think what's so beauty about him being a part of the community, he's able to A/B test all day, right? He's able to show little prototypes and get real feedback.
So what's awesome is when he first came out with his first few pieces, he started them on Kickstarter, and then they would sell over time. Yeah. And then when he came out with the travel graph, I was like, look, man, we have an amazing community here. Forget this Kickstarter stuff.
Exactly. Jump in.
Let's do an event and let's sell here. He sold out at the event.
Wow.
Which was amazing. And he told me, he's like, dude, I never thought I would sell out like at an event, first day, first hour, basically. Yeah. It was really, really cool to see. And it just tells you how DC has grown over time. And how many collectors here are buying, which is really, really incredible.
Yeah, and they appreciate, one thing about the community here, they appreciate independence, they appreciate quality craftsmanship. I think brands do well who are willing to come here, tell their story, really connect with people. I'm excited to do something Chronos Swiss tonight, doing the same thing, And a lot of brands are like, oh, DC, we never thought about it. But again, there's such a rich community of enthusiasts, collectors. You're missing out if you don't do an event in DC or try to sneak into a Jabs Art event, I think.
I agree. It's funny because a brand that doesn't come to DC, you won't see a lot of those pieces at the meetups. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as they start coming, like Romain Gauthier, for example, I think there was 3 in the group. I had one, Amit had one, another gentleman had one. And as soon as Romain came to DC, the next event, there was like 15.
Oh, yeah.
And he came again. So, exactly. I mean, Romain's been here twice now in the past 2 years. And the same thing with Journe. Right? Yeah. Journe's, you would never see them. They started coming. Journe comes here twice a year now, not FP himself.
Yeah. But
I wish, hopefully, if François Paul, Journe, it'd be amazing to have you here. But we have representatives from Journe, Pierre, William, Rocky. They've all been out here, and we're honored to have them. Honestly, it's so awesome when a brand comes and they bring their pieces and they share, and it just opens up a door and to the community, right?
Exactly. I think, one thing I preach a lot, especially in 2025, to brands and consumers alike, is you got to find the meeting point. We got to talk to each other. It's not, yes, it's dollars and cents, but it's like, tell me what I'm spending my money on.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on. Tell me about the gear shade. Tell me about the movement. Explain it to me. I think we're going back to the days of, a little bit more belly to belly business, let's say that, versus just everything being online. And that's why brands like that, Romain Gauthier is a great example of a brand just on the surface is beautiful, but when you really understand horology, when you really meet the person and you really feel a passion, there's no way you look at that watch the same. And it's very easy that, if you have the capital to get that watch in your collection, because there's just so much that goes into it.
I mean, meeting Romain was huge for me, right? He's, first off, an amazing gentleman. The passion that he has and that he shared with the group was incredible. And so I ended up buying two.
Nice.
As soon as I met him, it was incredible. I really, really fell in love with the brand, and I fell in love with the people there too.
Exactly.
So it's Mo and Romain. They came out, and it was amazing having them here. So
and that's what it is when you're you're adding a independent to your collection. You're investing in that company. You're investing in that people. I think a lot of brands should really listen to that lesson. Is you got to show people who shake my hand. Let's meet. Let's have a coffee. Let me feel your passion, and I think that's the way to really amplify it. Before we go, we have a few special pieces here. Let's talk about them. Which one do you want to talk about?
So, of course, first off, we have talked about Akbar's watch, the Le Sablier. So he did a piece unique for me, which was really, really cool. He does 3-piece uniques a year, and so I was honored to have one of his pieces. And what he did for me was an aventurine dial with Eastern Arabic numerals, and then DC. And my hometown or my background is, I'm originally from Iraq, from Baghdad. And so he has Baghdad in Arabic in red and DC in red.
Oh, I didn't see Baghdad. Oh,
yeah, he
that's
did
awesome.
A little cool nod to that. It was awesome. And then he DLC'd the case. This is a really, really special piece. It represents, my collecting journey here in DC, but also just having one of my friends building a watch brand and gifting me a piece.
It's 360, man.
It's really, really special to have. So one of my favorite pieces of my collection.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The DLC with Aventurine, which is a combination you don't see very often.
Yep.
Really, really, really pops. And I just think, it's one of those pieces, again, you got to get your hands on it. But nothing else is like these.
For me, it's piece uniques are always black and red.
Yeah, yes.
So I have about 10 piece uniques now in the collection and always black and red.
Yep.
So he did this red second sand, which was really, really striking, and it sticks out.
This is gorgeous, man. That is a really good slice of aventurine as well. The sparkles are awesome.
And assembled here in DC or Maryland.
Oh, yes, they're assembled here now as well, which is insane. There are very, very few brands who are actually assembling, and especially for a smaller brand to take those steps is really, really awesome. Oh, man, check out Le Sablier. They make amazing pieces.
Absolutely. So after that, we have another watch on the table. There's one of my favorite brands is FP Journe. It's one of the first independents that I started collecting. Then they went crazy and everything became hard. But
you were there early though. You were there. I remember. It's funny how fast it
yeah, exactly. I was buying them when they're selling for discounts.
Yeah.
Now, but I love FP Journe. I think he's the greatest living watchmaker. And his pieces are incredible. This is a boutique CS. Yeah. I tell everyone if you're looking at getting one Journe, the CS is a perfect one to start with, or be the only one in your collection.
Yes.
Incredible movement, very thin, and this one being I don't have a lot of rose gold or yellow gold in my collection. I made an exception because it's just so beautiful, so striking. So.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, and you really don't see black dial rose very often in Journe. So to see it, you put on a really nice suede strap with the gold stitching.
So that's actual rose gold stitching.
Oh, wow.
Journe did that for me too, so I know now they're going to get inundated with requests.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really, really cool strap.
Don't give me the jabs treatment. But I mean, just aesthetically beautiful. Like you said, FP Journe's probably the greatest living independent watchmaker, just from 360, from what he's able to provide piece-wise to the experiences that he's been able to give to clients, whether people come visit or if you go to Switzerland now, you can go to the restaurant. So there's a lot of ways to just, really get yourself into the brand.
And if you do go to the restaurant and get the souffle, it's amazing.
You get the souffle. Oh, but this is gorgeous, man. I could stare at this all day.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then the last piece I brought with me, and we didn't do a wrist check, but
yeah,
we'll do that after. The last piece is this really special tutor. I was in Qatar for F1, and I saw this gentleman taking a wrist shot.
Okay.
Right over the track.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who he was. He didn't know who I was. And I just walked up to him because he's obviously a watch collector taking a wrist shot.
Exactly.
You know? And I said, "Oh, like you're a watch collector?" He's like, "Yeah." You know, I'm like, "What are you wearing?" And he was wearing this piece. It's a Tudor with Arabic numbers.
Yeah, which is beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful piece. I'd never seen it. Right? So I told him, "I've never seen that. You know, where'd you get that?" And he's like, "Hey, you know, walk with me." We walked to his booth, which was the Rolex booth.
Oh, wow.
This was the owner of Rolex in Qatar.
Oh, no way.
And we started chit-chatting and talking, and he said, you know, stop by the next day. I'm going to have something special to show you. So he showed me a really special watch.
Yeah.
He asked me not to tell anyone what it was, so I won't share what that watch was.
I can only imagine.
It was incredible. He let me wear it for a few hours.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, I was like, you know, this is 75-piece limited edition. It has the Arabic numbers with the Qatar colors for the bezel. And I told him, I was like, I would love to have one of these if possible. And I do have an Arabic Daytona that we showed in our previous video. And I told him, I was like, I have one of the pieces from your boutique. And he's like, do you still have that piece?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah.
Yes,
I definitely have, I still have that piece. And he says, all right, I'll get you one of these tutors. And it was awesome because I'm not like a client there. And,
exactly.
But he was like, you're a passionate collector after talking for like a few hours. And he's like, I'd love for you to have one. And so he got me this before I left Qatar on that trip.
That's awesome. And these are very, very special pieces. You don't see them. I love Arabic numerals. You know, I spent a few years in Dubai in the Middle East, and I just fell in love with the culture and I just love the way Eastern Arabic numerals look. But when you pair it with just kind of the patina that Tudor does, and with the red color of the bezel, that's a little bit different to match the Qatari watch club. This is just gorgeous. This is amazing. Hey, pay so talk to people who are doing the wrist shots.
Exactly, I agree.
Don't be afraid.
I think we talked about this in the last video, and just sometimes just being nice to people and just asking. And I mean, honestly, I had no idea who he was. He had no idea who I was. And
something about watches, I've never had like a bad experience going up to somebody and say, nice watch.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a cool watch. And it's something I did since my first days in the industry. I used to practice just being at the airport, like, ooh, kind of figure out, is that a Breitling, is that a tag?
You might not want to do that in London.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not going to do the blended,
Someone starts
exactly. I used to do this it was a different world back then. But even then, I'd just be like, hey, sir, nice Breitling, nice whatever I knew back then. And always great conversations, great experiences. And you never... some friends back then are still great friends today, and it just started with the watch. It starts and ends with the watch sometimes, and I love that. Like you said, we have to do a wrist check before we go.
So CQ, what do you have on the wrist today?
So today, this is actually the first time I'm wearing this really out. This is a Rolex Oyster Perpetual Air King Precision, a 34 millimeter small watch, but it's actually my grandfather's watch. He got this in 1977. It still has the stickers. You can see he
Oh, that's awesome. I can see the stickers on the head.
So he got this service in 2012, and unfortunately he passed away. Sorry. He gave it to my father before he passed away, and my father had it, right? So my father would always be like, I think I have a Rolex somewhere. And I'm like, my father's not a watch guy. We race horses and cameras. And so I'm like, all right, one day, see if you find it, Dad. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, is it like a 5513? Is it like a, like,
it's going to be a Paul Newman.
Yeah, I'm like, got a Paul Newman. And then last month he came up and he's like, hey, he just showed me this watch. And he's like, hey, it's your watch now. And I never thought I'd wear a 34 millimeter, but I love it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, this is my grandpa's watch, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. A little 34 millimeter.
I actually have one of my grandfather's pieces as well, and it's awesome to have,
Yeah, just a piece, and he's not. It's funny, man. I fell into watches, right? So like the family, they don't watch people, stuff like that. And I was always like, everybody has this nice story of like, oh, my father's watch. I was like, we're not really watch people. It'll be something else. So yeah, when he pulled that out, I was like, oh wow.
Your grandfather had good taste.
Yeah, no. He
awesome.
got in the 70s. He's a tinier guy than me too, so this probably looked really good on him as well. Yeah. So what do you have on today?
So I have a Patek Ellipse. It's one of the rare handcrafts. I just love the design. I can't believe this is done by hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, if someone messed this up, they have to redo the whole dial.
Insane.
So it's a piece that I love. It was gifted to me by my mom.
Oh, wow.
So it was.
She has very good taste.
Yeah, it was funny because I was wearing a celebration dial, Oyster Perpetual, and she was like, "Oh, that's really cool," and I was like, I take it off and I give it to her, and she's like, no. I'm like, no, it's yours.
Yeah.
But she loved it. So, and then she took off her watch, which was this.
Yes.
She's like, this is yours, and we switched.
Oh, I love it.
So it was cool, and so.
Yeah, the Ellipse I think is such a perfect watch, and it doesn't get it gets the love. It just you don't see them because they don't produce that much. But the rare handcraft version is just like you said. When you look at it and really see what's going on, you cannot believe it's handmade, but it truly is hand engraved. And if somebody messes up, you start over.
Yep.
It's a true craft, and I love the bespoke strap that you put on this.
Bespoke.
Oh, nice.
I have to dress this down.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a hoodie.
Exactly.
I can't have the leather,
the
black
Crocs
leather that
shiny,
comes on like it's like a tuxedo watch.
Yeah.
And I'm never wearing a tuxedo.
Exactly. No, I don't think. Maybe I've seen you in a jacket once. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
maybe
like
once.
it was a special event. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's.
That's beautiful. That green goes perfect with
Appreciate it.
that black as well. Well, Jabs, thank you so much
Appreciate
for
you. Thank you.
having a
See you.
conversation. We're gonna have a great event shortly, and so great to come and just feel the energy from the.
Shout out Chrono Swiss. Thank you for coming down to DC. We appreciate you. So can't wait for that event, and it should be a good one.
Yep. See you soon.
Thank you.